What's up, monster truck fans? Thomas Borders here with another segment of Monkey Wrench coming to you about hydraulic steering. How's a monster truck turn? Well, if you've seen the previous episode, we talked about the front steering. Works just like a normal car, right off your steering wheel, but how does the rear wheels work? So if we tied it together, if we turn this, the rear would turn. But how do you crab walk a truck? You don't have two steering wheels. That'd be a little difficult, having one here. I guess you could do it, it'd just be a little rough. Monster trucks use on the rear a electric or hydraulic steering. So it is all controlled by this right here. This toggle switch controls the rear steer of a monster truck. Well, how can that work? How can you turn them massive 66-inch tall tires with just a toggle switch? Well, we'll show you that here in just a little bit. So what this does is, my trucks are all wired one way. Every driver's got their preference. Some do it the opposite of this. We do ours this way. So what it is when I push this toggle switch to the right, and if we're facing forward, the truck turns to the right. If I push it to the left, the truck turns to the left. Some drivers like it to where if they push it to the left, that's the direction the tires are turning. So the tires are actually turning opposite of what you're thinking in the rear to make this truck turn. That's how we're able to cut them big, massive cyclone donuts and crab walk these trucks and do all kinds of neat tricks. So you've seen what operates it just by this toggle switch. What's doing all the work? We're going to show that to you now. All right, fans, I just showed you just a minute ago what operates the rear steer, that toggle switch up into the cab. Well, what's doing all the work? It's this bad boy right here. This is a electric over hydraulic pump. So this right here is your electric motor right here on the front of the pump. Inside this tank back here is the pump down inside here. So this is filled with hydraulic fluid. That pump, whenever we activate that switch, activates this solenoid right here, which turns the motor and turns the pump. That's going to apply your pressure. Well, that's not going to do you any good if you just got pressure sitting there. It's not going to do nothing. Well, down here you can see on the side of the pump, there's two solenoids. One's your left, one's your right. So when we activate that switch, it activates this solenoid and say this solenoid, and that's going to turn the truck to the left. Then if you want to go right, it's going to activate this solenoid, that's going to turn it to the right. So the fluid's going to be powered through each line and coming out, going down to, on the rear of the truck, there's a lock valve. I don't know if you can get down in there, Damon, and show the fans. We got a lock valve right here on the frame. What that does is that helps keep them wheels straight. So what we have learned over the years looking through video footage of the truck, without a lock valve, you'll actually see the back wheels will turn on their own without activating the steering. That helps hold the system, lock it in place so the rear wheels stay straight. So when we're out there running around, running fast as we can on the straight line drag course, we don't have to worry about that rear steer kicking and turning on us. So it's going to go through the lock valve. We're going to head to the next section of the truck and show you where it's going to next. All right, fans, we showed you where the fluid is traveling. It came from the lock valve. Now it's going through the lines, coming back here. If you watched our previous video on the front, you're going to see something that looks a lot familiar from the front steering. We run a crossover relief on the rear too. We do that so if we take that hard hit, it could hopefully save either the line from blowing or from wiping out the pump up there in the rear steer motor. So that's why we run a crossover relief in the rear. Not so much worried about like you are in the front steering of ripping the steering wheel out. We just don't want to tear the pump up. So it's coming through your crossover relief. As I said before, fluid's going to travel straight through in normal operation. If this solenoid or this valve operates, it's going to cross. That's usually on them hard hits. Going to come down, come through your lines, go through your cylinders, and turn the truck. That's pretty much how the rear steer works on a monster truck. But wait, there's another component here strapped to the cylinder. That's going to be another episode. We'll talk about that. That is the return to center setup on the monster truck. That's going to allow them wheels to stay straight at all time, but we'll save that for another episode for all you fans. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode talking about the rear steer of the monster truck. Make sure you like, comment, share. Tell us what you want to see next. Anything you want to see. We love seeing your comments. We read every one of them. We read your messages. Hope you guys are enjoying these episodes. We'll see you all next time. I didn't mean to do that.